Hey everybody, welcome back to Grunt Reviews. We are back out at the lovely U.S. Shooting Academy, and today this will be our range review on the Beretta M9A4 pistol. Guys, as always, go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment with your thoughts, share us with your friends. I've got my Buy Me a Coffee link in the description as always. We do appreciate your support, and let's get into it. Alright guys, so first things first, I've got some 150 grain Federal Syntech loaded up here, kind of my go-to ammo for testing, and we are going to put our first magazine through it, make sure it works. This is out of the box, no lube, no nothing. The only thing I've done is obviously put the optic on the optics plate. Let's see if she runs. All right, and locks back just like it should. Obviously, we expect this performance in every firearm we test. But first, mag, we're gonna go load up some more ammo. And so the Beretta M9s and the 92 series have long been known as fantastic hosts for suppressors, cans, whatever your preferred nomenclature is. And part of that is due to the design of the barrel. You don't get the tilt like you do with a lot of other actions. The barrel just moves forward and backwards. Generally, that makes it work better without a piston system. So this is the F4 can by AB Suppressors. It's actually designed for PCC and SMG type setups. No piston, no nothing, just direct thread screwed it on. Just kind of curious to see if it'll work. This is some IMI. It's 158 grain. It's the heaviest stuff I could find. And same deal, we're going to see if it makes it through a full magazine without issue. Here we go. Locks back just like it should. Little bit of gas I'm noticing, not a ton, but you do kind of get that little whiff today. But all in all, you know, this is not a pistol can and it runs perfectly. I've got one other can we're going to try just to make sure. We're going to go load up. So a little bit more suppressor testing. I've got two more cans that I want to try on this thing. It is such a pleasure to shoot with a can on the end of it. So went ahead and threw the Griffin Cam-Lok system on this. First one I've got, this is the Octane 9. And I've got 5 rounds of some 115 Federal Syntech, and then the rest of it's going to be that 158 grain, the 158 IMI. So, lock this sucker in. 5 shots, supersonic. The rest will be subsonic. Here we go. All right, so that works just as it should. A little warm. Let me let this cool down and we will change cans out. So last one we're gonna do, and I did want to highlight the Cam-Lok system here. This is going to be the Osprey 45. Obviously Cam-Lok's right on there, and I don't have this absolutely perfectly indexed. A little bit shorter on this one. Ammo's not cheap. So this will be 5 rounds of the 115 Federal, will be the supersonic, and then 5 additional rounds of the 168. Oh, F-18 flying overhead, kind of cool. I'll let him pass. Hopefully I didn't make it too loud on the camera. So 10 rounds total, 5 super, 5 subsonic. Air Force boys get to play with all the cool stuff. All right, here we go. So functions exactly as I expected it to. Something I will mention, The can, obviously, and this is common sense, but that's not so common anymore, does add a lot of weight forward, so you do pick up much more of the lever type action. You get a little bit more muzzle rise out of it. If you haven't fired a handgun with a can on the end of it, something to think about. Something else I want to highlight as well too with this optic. So this optics plate is very, very thick. Reason for that is you have that firing pin block, and we covered that in the tabletop review, that actually moves up as you pull the trigger. So you have to add in that extra height into the optics plate, since this mounts right over the top of it. But what that gets you is an optic that sits very, very high over the bore. So even with suppressor height sights, and hopefully you can see that there, even with some suppressor height sights, probably will not get a co-witness with that. So if you do prefer to co-witness, or you're looking at this for a defensive pistol, that is something to consider, and something that I did want to highlight. And we'll go do some accuracy testing. We did not get to do the accuracy test the first day. We did some gas mask testing. That'll be in a separate video, and I'll link you above. Long and short of it, forgot to decontaminate. Yeah, kind of put an end to the day. So the M9A4, we are going to do some accuracy testing. Downrange, we are at 25 yards, and I have 2 circle targets. I have 5 rounds of the Federal Syntech 115 grain loaded up in the first mag. That will be the upper target, and then the bottom target, I have, this is the IMI, this is the 158 grain stuff. Have 5 rounds of that loaded up as well. And we are going to see how she groups. Alright, 5 on the first one, and we're going to go to the heavier stuff to kind of split the difference here. And we're out. We will run down and check them out. This is the 115. This is the Federal Syntech. We are inside that, let's see here. Yeah, 2-inch grouping, give or take. We're inside, the most important part, we're in that fist, or that minute of man grouping there. Do have 2 in the same hole, and then 3 in the outside of it. So pretty good grouping, and that polymer jacket, some people will argue that it is more or less accurate than the copper. That's why I wanted to shoot both and 2 different weights. Where we really tightened up was with that heavier stuff, that IMI 158. We are all within that thumb size area, and actually less, definitely inside of that fist. In terms of combat accuracy, in terms of putting rounds on target in a defensive scenario, the thing really did a fantastic job. Let me clean everything up, and we're gonna do some final thoughts. Final thoughts on the M9A4. Some stuff I like, some stuff I don't like. Very much do like the sights on that. They are very, very bright at night, very easy to see. They are true glows. You can see the TG logo here, and they do make fantastic sights. It's nice that they do include them from the factory. The optics plate, as you saw earlier, it is nice that they do make these optics ready now. The trade-off, though, is because, and we'll make sure this is clear, that firing pin block still has to come up. You have to add that small amount of travel into that optics plate. So what you end up with is an optics plate that sits very, very tall, as you saw earlier. height above bore, it does get a little bit annoying. However, if you are putting a can on it, it is nice. You don't have to worry about suppressor height sights, if you will, but the trade-off is I'd have to do some research to see if you could even find something tall enough to co-witness with it. If co-witnessing is important to you, might want to look at a different platform. But the grip, the feel, the weight, definitely a significant improvement over the M9 that I was issued when I was still active duty. The latest generation shoots very well, shoots very nice, no issues there. Obviously accuracy for a combat handgun, we are definitely in that minute of man accuracy, if you will. 25 yards, able to put shots on target very easily and in a repeatable manner. I like it. For roughly $1,000 all said and done, is it worth it? That part is a decision you kind of have to make yourself. I definitely enjoy it, and as I covered in the tabletop, with those black mags they're sending and the fact that they are going to send you some additional flat dark earth ones for free, ending up with 5 mags with it total is always a nice little plus too, because they're not incredibly inexpensive as far as magazines go. Really like it, really enjoy it. Beretta did a good job. There's some tweaks that I would like to see. However, I don't think we'll see those without a complete redesign of the platform. So within the bounds of what they have to work with, Beretta did a fantastic job with this. Guys, I do appreciate your time watching this. Stay safe, train hard.